you're first. You're the former England international. Starting 11s. What kind of formation? What are you thinking?
4-2. Well,
4-3-3 with a floater. What do you want?
4-2. Then where is it? 3 up front? Is it? It depends how you want to. Let's put it this way. I'm going Pickford in goal.
Okay, you just started. You just gone for it. Go on, Pickford in goal.
Walker, Stones.
You're starting Walker.
This is assuming he's fit.
This is assuming everyone's fit. Okay, yeah.
He's not. All right. So this is my team as we start. We've beaten Iran.
Yeah.
We've beaten USA. We've taken a point against Wales. So this is my team for the knockout stages.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
I like the way you're setting your own rules, making up your own rules as you go along.
Because you expect to get through the group, and then everyone's fit by this stage. Okay,
go on. Everyone's fit.
This is where it matters.
These are the
really important games. This is the knockout stages.
Go on.
Pickford.
Yep.
Walker.
Yep.
Stones. Maguire. Trippier.
God, Maguire.
Rice. Bellingham.
Yeah.
In front of them, Foden.
In like a 10. Just sitting.
An 8 or a 10, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And then at one side, Rashford.
Is there a problem with Foden in the sense that I remember when Foden was coming through, you thought that was his position, David Silva. He rarely plays that position that we want. For City, he can play it. I know he can, but he doesn't.
So then you got Sterling on the other side. Sterling and Rashford.
Sterling on the left, Rashford on the right.
Yep. And then Kane up top. But that midfield, you could easily have Rice as the out-and-out sitter, Bellingham slightly advanced, and Foden slightly more advanced on the other side. Like he does for City. Rice is the out-and-out sitter.
Wait a minute, I just realised what you said. You've gone Trippier on the left instead of Shaw.
Yep. Fantastic form.
I know, but on the right.
Croatia, started the last Euros. Yeah. Cancelo plays that side, not a problem. Trippier's set-piece delivery, not an issue.
Okay.
Get him in the team. Simple as that. And he's a better defender than Luke Shaw is. That is without question. And you're now talking about knockout stages. So he's also got experience as well. And he's playing in great form. He's a leader.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with you.
So Rice is the out-and-out holder.
Yeah.
Bellingham could be sort of slightly advanced of that, get a little bit licensed, get up and down a little bit. Foden can be a little bit further forward. So it's a midfield 3, if you like, in there.
Yeah.
And then Rashford, Sterling and Kane up front.
I like it. I've gone quite similar. I've not got Maguire in. I've got White in there. Just because he's playing well, although some will say, well, he's playing well as a right back for Arsenal, but I'd still rather have him there than Maguire, who's playing not well at all. I've got Foden in the 10. I've got Rice and Jude sitting, allowing Foden to be free in almost that free reign.
So
of just,
we've got it's a fluidish midfield.
Yeah.
Rice sits, Bellingham and Foden sort of can.
Yes,
they can play off the slightly right, slightly left, a little bit whatever.
And when I say Rice sits, I mean Rice, because I don't trust that centre back pairing. He does not move.
Correct.
Yeah, Rice just sits there, almost going into a 5 sometimes at the back. But then I've got Saka over Rashford on the right. I've got Saka. I think. He's had a fantastic season with Arsenal. Unbelievable season with Arsenal.
Rashford's coming into a little bit of form. He seems to have his mojo back.
He has. Yeah. And Rashford's got the pace. I think he's got a bit more pace than Saka as well. But I like that Rashford. So I like that Saka, Kane.
So we've only got 2 differences.
That's it. I've gone White over Maguire, and I've got Saka in over Rashford.
Yeah. So it's not a huge. I don't know where else you can argue.
That's what we would do.
Yeah.
You know Gareth a lot more than most. What's Gareth going to do?
But again,
because I tell you now, Mason Mount's in this 11.
Because you're looking at first game, people maybe not necessarily fit.
Yeah.
I think he might go 5 or 3 at the back to start with.
Against Iran. 5 at the back. And this is not disrespectful.
But it also means you can play wing backs and get forward, and you can play 4 up front effectively. You can release players. So I think he might go Pickford.
Yeah.
Now he's not. I think he might go Trippier,
on
Stones,
the right,
Maguire as a 3.
Oh really?
As a 3.
Not Walker, Stones, Maguire.
Walker's
That's
not
the 3 we're used
Walker's
to.
not fit first game.
Okay.
You have to remember this is.
So then you go Ben White. Surely, if anyone's going to play 3 in the back, you go Ben White. No. Sorry, I'm not. So I'm getting in front of your team. Apologies.
Trippier. is a fantastic defender.
Not
We've
better,
seen that
not
at
better than
Newcastle.
Ben White.
Oh,
Not
he
better.
is.
No,
At the
he's
moment.
not. He's not.
You
better.
ask Newcastle
He's not
fans.
a better defender.
He's a leader. He's an organiser. He's got set piece delivery. I would then play Trent as right wing back, Shaw as left wing back. I think he might play Rice as a holder.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think he might play Mount and Bellingham ahead of that, and Sterling just off Kane up front. No Foden. I think that's what Gareth might do.
Oh, mate. In terms of stretching defenders, you haven't got anything up front, have you? In terms of pace, Sterling, that's it.
But that's where you need Bellingham to run on.
Yeah.
You need Trent to get forward.
Those deliveries.
Shaw getting forward on the other side. Rice can then sit in that hole, and Mount's just an intelligent footballer to link things up.
So you think Trent gets minutes, yeah? Because there's been a lot of this discussion that he's almost just been taken just...
In the until Walker's fit.
Yeah.
Walker's fit, Walker's going to play.
The only way Trent plays is if they do a 5, isn't it? That's the only way, because he doesn't trust him defensively.
Gareth said Kyle Walker's not going to play 90 minutes. He's not going to be able to do that. So his minutes are going to have to be managed within that. Harry Maguire in the last Euros, minutes had to be managed, don't forget.
Yeah.
You know, it's similar sort of situation. Played pretty well.
Is there any way, in terms of sort of our Maverick players, and when I think of the Maverick players, I think of 2 in particular, Jack Grealish and James Maddison, any way they force their way into the starting 11 for the first game?
I think it's difficult. Grealish, you would maybe use an impact player, but his form for Manchester City hasn't been amazing. It's not like he's going, I have to be in that team. My performances warrant me being a starter in that team.
Yeah, there isn't that push either from the public as there was start of the Euros, where we were screaming for him to come on. Yeah,
and clearly Pep doesn't trust him. Pep doesn't think he's good enough at the moment. So you know, why would you go against that?
Yeah,
you know, that's the thing. Maddison, I think, would come on as maybe an impact player in possibly those games. Maybe you take Mount off. Or Bellingham if he's run himself into the ground, you know, save his legs a little bit. There are options, but there aren't too many. We picked ours randomly without sort of, you know, looking at each other's teams. And we, apart from 2, we picked the same.
Pretty much close on it.
And this is the whole point. You probably have 15 starters. I spoke to Gareth about a lot of the clamour is to do what the women did in the Euros. Play the same starting 11 all the way through and just go, right, that's my starting 11. And I thought his answer was very good. He said, look, if you've got the best players and you've got the best squad, you can do that. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And you'd have to argue strongly that England's women weren't the best team and weren't the strongest team and weren't the strongest squad. So you were able to just say, no, that's my starting 11, that's what I'm going to play, and these are my sort of 5 finishers, whatever you want to call them, coming off the bench. I'm going to use them. Some people aren't going to play. And that's what you can afford to do. So we don't have that luxury. You know, we aren't the best players. We aren't the best team. So we've got to find a way. We've got injuries. We're going to have to be flexible within that, playing against, you know, different opposition. We can't just go out and play our game because some of the opposition will be better than us.
You know, one player leading into this tournament who's really out of form, as a lot of players are in this England side, is Raheem Sterling. Right, this Chelsea move, and look,
but he was out of form last time when he went to the Euros and was our best player.
But how long can we keep saying that?
Yeah, but he's been playing at wing back.
Agreed. My argument for him though is Foden's on the left sometimes for City, and we see how good Foden is.
You've got to have pace. You've got to have some pace in the side.
Saka on the right is the pace. No,
one pace. That's it. You've got pace stretches the game. Pace gives you a threat in behind. It allows Harry Kane to drop into holes and drop into spaces. Gives you options. Gives you all sorts of... Defenders hate pace.
So Sterling's a banker for you?
I think Sterling plays, yeah. He's never let England down.
No, I agree.
And also, you have to remember, it's big game mentality. And it was interesting, speaking to Faye about some of the women going into the Euros, favourites pretty much, you know, to win it, or up there as the favourites. Strong, unbelievably experienced team. Some of those women going into the first game at Old Trafford, sell-out crowd, never played in that type of environment before. Some of them were really nervous. And some of them were looking up and thinking, oh, not used to this. This is a bit, not quite sure how the game's going to start. And they started a little bit edgy, didn't they? Started a little bit... No, that's what can happen.
Yeah, I don't believe Foden or Saka will have that moment.
No, but they were some of the most experienced England players we've ever had at women's football. But suddenly you're going into a tournament with expectations and a bigger crowd and everything else. They weren't sure how they were going to react because they'd never been in that environment. So throwing a new player in that hasn't been in that environment before, you don't know. They could freeze, they could thrive. But it's a gamble. And that's why often you go with, well, I know how he's going to react in that environment, so that's why I'm going to play him.
Kick off, straight talking and straight to the point. Every Tuesday to Thursday night from 7 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.